Hey loves, welcome to Inner Glow Love Messages. I'm Ava and I'm so happy you're here. If this is your first time, welcome, I'm thrilled to have you. And if you're already subscribed, welcome back. Before we get into today's reading, I have a couple of quick updates for you. Now, let's dive in. Today's reading is all about a no contact message from your person. I know many divine feminines are searching for clarity right now, trying to understand what's going on behind the scenes, how your person truly sees you, and what they're thinking about your connection, especially if there's been physical or emotional distance. To tap into their current feelings, I'll be using the No Contact Messages deck. The first message coming through is, you can't handle the truth. Right away, this tells us that the person on your mind may have ghosted you, pulled away, or even rejected the connection, not because of anything you did, but because they're dealing with something heavy. There's an external situation weighing on them, something they feel is too overwhelming to share. If you've been questioning whether you did something wrong or contributed to this distance, the energy here makes it clear. It's not about you at all. Your person believes that telling you the full truth might damage your connection. They fear that if they open up, it could change how you see them or make it harder for you to move forward. But the silence they've left you with has been painful. It's not just about their struggles. It's the fact that they didn't give you the chance to face them together. You value honesty and openness, and it hurts that instead of trusting you with the truth, they chose to pull away. From their perspective, they might have thought they were protecting you. Maybe they feared that their burdens would become too much for you. But in trying to shield you, they've only left you feeling unacknowledged and hurt. You may have even reached out, trying to encourage honest communication, only to feel them withdraw even further. The next message coming through is, right person, wrong time. This suggests that your connection may have moved quickly, almost like a whirlwind. Your person was completely immersed in the intensity of your bond, but then something external shook them, forcing them to step back. This isn't about a lack of love or care. In fact, I feel they care about you deeply, but they're struggling to balance their personal challenges with the emotional depth of your relationship. There's something weighing on them that they haven't shared. When you first met, everything felt incredible, effortless even. The connection was powerful, and it all seemed to fall into place. But then, almost out of nowhere, their energy shifted. It feels like whatever they were dealing with behind the scenes started to spill over, affecting your relationship in ways they didn't know how to handle. At first, they might have seen this connection as something light or casual, but before they even realized it, they fell for you, deeply and unexpectedly. That intense emotion, combined with their personal struggles, created an internal conflict. Timing played a huge role in how everything unfolded. If you're enjoying this video and want to support us, you'll find the donation link in the About section and the description box. You can also send a super chat. Your support truly keeps us going and motivates us to create more helpful content. Now, let's get back to it. A belief they hold keeps surfacing in their mind. The thought that you're too good for them. It's not necessarily about self-worth, but rather how they perceive you. They may see you as wiser, more emotionally or spiritually evolved, or even in a different phase of life. This creates a sense of imbalance. Whatever they're struggling with, even if it seems small to you, feels overwhelming to them. They worry about how you'd see them if you knew everything. Because they're not in a place where they can fully open up, they've started projecting their fears onto you, assuming you'd judge them or push them away. This emotional weight makes it hard for them to share, causing distance between you. They don't know how you'd react to their full truth, and that uncertainty, mixed with shame, has made communication nearly impossible. At first, you probably tried to reach out, offering understanding and support. But after being met with resistance or silence, you pulled back, giving them space. Instead of finding clarity, they're now left confused about where they stand with you. Even if you didn't mean to create distance, they've felt the shift in your energy. They're still tuned into you, but their own emotions are clouding their perspective, making it difficult for them to bridge the gap. This connection carries a strong presence of divine feminine energy, a deep, intuitive bond that hasn't been fully expressed. In many ways, you might be mirroring each other. Just as they've held back, you've also kept certain feelings to yourself, which has contributed to the breakdown in communication. If you've been trying to make sense of this situation, know that their struggles have been spilling over into the relationship, causing things to unravel in ways they never intended. Sometimes, when people feel overwhelmed, they let things fall apart instead of facing them head-on. Right now, they're making excuses, convincing themselves that you wouldn't understand or that you're too good for them. But what really frustrates you is that they never even gave you the chance to decide for yourself. You value honesty and transparency. At the very least, there should have been a conversation. Instead, they made that choice for you, leaving you feeling shut out, which is where much of the frustration comes from. Despite the distance, they still feel deeply connected to you. They regret how things played out and haven't been able to move on. They admire you, miss the warmth and respect you brought into their life, and think about you constantly. They were comfortable leaning on you during difficult times, but now that they've pulled away, they can't stop longing for your presence. This is a pattern for them. They justify their withdrawal by telling themselves that you wouldn't understand or that your emotional and spiritual depth makes you unreachable. But in doing so, they're avoiding their own feelings. Deep down, though, they still feel drawn to you, unable to fully let go. The person you're connected with is going through an internal struggle, caught between feelings of vulnerability and the urge to justify their actions. They've opened up to you before, but now they find themselves in an emotional battle. On one side, they acknowledge how outside factors affected your connection and accept their role in it. They want to reach out, have an honest conversation, and bridge the gap between you. Yet, at the same time, they retreat into self-justification, keeping themselves stuck in uncertainty. This inner conflict only proves how much they're consumed by thoughts of you and your connection. Though there have been delays and complications, they're reaching a turning point. They're beginning to take more responsibility for their part in what happened. What they once believed you couldn't handle, they now feel ready to share. It's clear they've been reflecting deeply, unable to get you out of their mind. They're starting to realize they may have pushed you away for the wrong reasons, distancing themselves from someone who, in hindsight, might have been open to working things through. Even if they weren't sure back then, they now see they should have at least given you the choice, rather than letting their fears and doubts dictate the outcome. Despite everything, their feelings for you remain strong, and they still hold deep love and respect. Ironically, it was that very respect that made them hesitate in the first place. They didn't want to burden you with their struggles, but by keeping you out of the decision, they unintentionally left you feeling disappointed and overlooked. Now they seem to understand that you deserve the truth. They respect you enough to finally share it, and you may be hearing from them soon as they open up about what led to the distance between you. That's the main message for today. If this resonated with you, don't forget to like the video. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.